Claimin respect, Iriscience. Claimin respect.
And you're live from Copenhagen. Suckers should start praying, just hoping that I don't get to laying them down. Dazzling, dilated, display a new sound. Rock my crown of thorns, cause every day's a new town. Rakaa Iriscience and the last emperor, internationally leaving casualties of war. Lyrics that endure, hard to endure. Denmark, I rock the whole team, public transport.
1-2, this is Rakaa Iriscience, Dilated Peoples, PTASDK. You already know what it is, man. Zulu Nation, Dilated Worldwide. Let's get it. I got into hip-hop. I mean, I was a fan, of course. 1580 K-Day was a radio station in LA that played a lot of rap music. Just hearing music along the way. Music was my first real link into the culture, but as far as my first participation in the culture, it was through graffiti art. The graffiti art scene was a very small community, but it was tight-knit. You know, you could kind of see somebody across an entire square or something, and looking by the way they were dressed and kind of the way they carried themselves, you're like, that dude probably writes. As we say, you go up to, like, you write, you see like a little paint on their fingertips or something, maybe like a drip of paint on their shoe, and you're like, ah, that dude gets busy.
Wow.
So the scene was real tight, real small, but you know, it grew pretty quickly, and now it's huge. I mean, it was also like two scenes in LA. There was the hip-hop graffiti scene, and then there was more like the gang graffiti scene, which is like more calligraphy style, old English blocks and all that kind of stuff too, cracking at the same time. So a lot of the new LA styles, like the LTS styles and all that, you can see like a combination of the graffiti, you know, the gang style and the more hip hop style, I guess you could say. But really, it was my man DJ Rob One, rest in peace. He was doing a mixtape, like, I don't know, we were like 13 years old or 14 years old or something. And he was like, yo, I'm doing a birthday mixtape for Skate, and Skate also passed away. Skate, CBS, rest in peace. He was like, I'm doing this mixtape and I want you to host it. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, you know, you gotta talk over the stuff and just host the tape, like keep it live. And I'm like, all right, I'll do that. You know, at the time I was a writer, so I was writing poetry and I was doing all kind of stuff for school and for fun, but I never put it together with like rapping or anything else. And then in fact, he didn't even put me on a mic. There was no microphone. He plugged his headphones into the mic jack, and I was rapping into headphones because that's how, you know, we were kids. You know. So yeah, that really kind of sparked my interest. I mean, from being like just a fan and someone that was just like anybody else, like to someone that really wanted to do that and focus the energy on making it happen. Iris is a part of the eye that opens up to let the light in, and I did a song called Iriscience, which was just a philosophy that I was developing. And through the song, through the Iriscience joint, people started calling me. My real name is Rakaa. I was born Rakaa. That's my real first name. So people started calling me Iriscience because of that song, thinking that it was my name, even though it was really just a song name. From there, it just stuck really. And you know, having a group and coming from the era that I come from, I was like, yo, we have to have an ill DJ in the crew. You know, like it was mandatory that we found the right DJ. We were over the years, like if we had a concert, we would just call Newmark or DJ Homicide or Ralph M or any one of our friends who was E Swift or anybody who was around. But we really wanted our own crew, like our own, you know, solid, tight-knit organization. So, you know, we did the whole bouncing around DJ to DJ, and you know, I saw Babu, we met, the vibe was right, obviously the skills were right, and we just hit it off. And I was like, yo, I want you to be in the crew. You know, I talked to Ev, and you know, I mean, there was, you know, some hills and valleys, but ultimately we're here right now because of that. The DJs were really part of this added kind of like a movement of like DJ music and DJ scenes. Like they had already realized like MCs weren't respecting them properly, so they were gonna create their own scene. Qbert and all these, you know, executioners and beat junkies and, you know, Scratch Pickles. I was gonna say Qbert, but I should have said Scratch Pickles. Before that was Rocksteady DJs, whatever you want to call it. But you know, the cats were like, we don't need MCs to make music. You know what I mean? Like we can make our own music. We create our own scene. We can sell our own merch. We can do our own shows, and there's a market for this. So they really went and did that. And for Dilated, we just never had the attitude that most rappers had. Like it's a separate thing. Like we were like, well, yeah, of course you can go do that. Like you guys are DJs. You guys created hip hop culture. So we just want one of the best for our group, and then we'll share it with you guys. And that was kind of this. So Babu's a beat junkie, and he's Dilated officially. So we're able to really support the DJ scene. Say coming from the States, where, you know, I have a degree in advertising. Like I studied advertising. Ultimately I studied propaganda. So I understand what the propaganda machine is. And coming out of the States, it's a difficult thing to develop a worldview and you know, like a Western-centric, American-based philosophy that they push there. Like, so, you know, I think that was probably the biggest blessing, to be able to gain a perspective, more of a world perspective, to be able to see things that I've only heard about, to be able to meet people that I would have ordinarily not met and have conversations I wouldn't have had, like just being somebody local rhyming words in LA. So I mean, it's a beautiful thing to be a representative and ambassador of a culture and of a movement and of the arts on a world level. Be respected as that. Claimin respect. Babu and I came out to do the first Dilated tour just by ourselves. Just he and I came out. We came out and we went on tour with Jurassic 5 and Supernatural and DJ Noise. Shout out to Noise. I used to call him Ivan Drago because I thought that dude was like a robot machine killer. You know what I mean? Yeah, shout out to my man Noise. But no, we came out to do that. And when I said that we were coming out here, I got a call from this cat named Typhoon, DJ Typhoon, that I'd heard of from like the DJ battle scene. But he was just like, yo, you know, we want to put something together. If you're, you know, we're doing this tour called Boulevard Connection, and you know, we want you guys to come out. You're already going to be in Europe. I think that's pretty much how it went down. So I called Babs like, yo, we're going to extend it an extra little while. We're going to go, instead of just doing the UK with Jurassic 5, we're actually going to dip and go into Denmark. And from that, we did Denmark. I think we did part of Sweden. There's like we ended up in Norway. Like, so we basically turned into like a Scandinavia tour for my first time, and it was a great time. But we went to Christiania. Everybody got their head right, relaxed for a hot minute, and then we went straight to the studio. He's like, let's go. Everyone jumped in some Hoti public transports, and you know, we made it happen. We jumped on there and went to the studio and banged out something that ultimately turned out to be a classic. Plus, I did Shotokan Kempo, Western boxing with Archie Moore. I did all kind of different little things as a kid growing up, but I was always a fan of the martial arts. So I saw UFC 1, I saw Royce get busy. I was like, wow, that's crazy. UFC 2, I saw Royce get busy again. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. And then a good friend of mine who lived in Torrance, which is like 5 minutes from the academy, which is also in Torrance, the LA Academy at the time, the official Gracie Academy, was like 5 minutes from his house. He's like, I'm training there now, come in for a free class. And I went in there, did a free class with Hidon Gracie, which is Royce's nephew, Corion's son. Did a free class with him, and I was hooked. I was like, yo, this is it. So, you know, I've been going ever since. It's a passion. I'm actually kind of addicted to it. Like right now, as I'm talking to you, I feel like I'm like shaking and jonesing a little bit because I want to go roll right now. But yeah, no, I love it, man. I love jiu-jitsu. I think it really applies more to the live show for me. Like really just not using strength, not using aggression, not trying to be the loudest, but being the most effective, focusing on technique. You know, breathing and technique over strength. And I think that, you know, when you're up on stage doing 1.5, 2 hour concerts, you're all over the world, you're traveling crazy, you have to really focus on your technique, on your breathing. You know what it is that you're trying to achieve and think ahead, but ultimately really focus on your breathing. And that's something that I really learned there. Plus, it's really a stress relief, so I'm able to kind of get stuff, you know, I'm not really as tense as I ordinarily would be when I roll and when I train.
What belt are you at now?
Purple.
Purple belt?
Yeah, but I was out for like a year and a half. I had some crazy injuries, knee injuries, ankle injuries, all kind of stuff. So I was out for a little while. But yeah, I just started training again like about 3 weeks ago, about 3 months ago. So I'm just getting back into this. I apply some real basic principles, but ultimately it's more for me as a human being. It keeps me really grounded, it keeps me really centered. And when I'm grounded and centered, I think better, I write better, I perform better. So in that respect, yeah, it affects every aspect of my life.